Anything that feels sweet but is also pseudo a little bit creepy is good in my book.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the pull quote that they use for this. That's the thumbnail.
Of course, data collection.
And data collection, don't forget.
Hi, I'm Hannah from Enemy, and I'm here with Jack and Alex from All Time Low. Hello.
Hi.
What's up?
Just got into London 2 days ago.
Yeah.
How's jet lag treating you?
You know, going to sleep at 4 a.m. is fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's when the best TV's on, isn't it? So
Truly.
you're sorted.
Truly.
We decided to come a couple days early just to get adjusted, but it did not work.
I don't think there's anything better actually than British television between the 2 and 4 a.m. hour.
I've never watched
hours.
it.
It's just so weird.
Tonight.
What is it? Like what do you have?
It's a deep pit of variety.
Of weirdness?
Weird
Ice
variety.
road truckers.
Oh, okay, cool.
great.
Yeah, things like that. Very good quality viewing.
Sweet.
A lot of shows about crabs, people on boats, people buying various different houses.
Boat people, crab people.
Yeah.
All you need.
Yeah.
But hopefully, the excitement of announcing your new album today, Wake Up Sunshine, is going to get you through.
Yes.
That's how I'm here and looking so fresh and awake. Yeah.
How long have you been working on it?
We spent, quite a bit of last year working on it sort of quietly.
Secretly.
Yeah, we started early in the year. We went down to Nashville. Ryan had a studio there. We'd never worked out of it before. So this was kind of the inaugural trip down to his studio. And we got together, wrote a handful of songs. Didn't really have any intention for any of it at the time. It wasn't like, let's go in and make an album. It was just, let's write some music and see what happens. It started to feel really good towards the end of that process. And we walked away with a bunch of songs that we then got to live with for months, and then come like summertime, we rented a house out in the desert, in Palm Desert, and
Just the 4 boys and some buddies.
yeah, and shut ourselves away, and pretty much put a full record together. And it was like at that point that we knew we had an album starting to take shape.
The thing about recording an album in Palm Springs is it's 115 degrees outside every day. I don't know what that is.
You
want to
be there in August. That's
so
when to go.
We did not leave the house at all. We got a lot of work done because it was too hot to leave the
Yeah.
house.
And it was kind of the 4 of you together under one roof. Did it feel like the early days of being in a band?
Yes. I don't think we'd made a record like that for 10 years.
10 years,
It was,
yeah.
it was probably Nothing Personal, So Wrong It's Right was the last time we kind of all were living together in the same situation and like waking up and making breakfast and then immediately making music. You know, it was like we were sort of eating and sleeping music, which was great.
And I was going to say, I've heard the album. Excellent.
Thank you.
It does feel like sort of a Nothing Personal era album. Did you
Cool.
notice that when you were sort of writing it?
Not in not that consciously, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think it was really more just that the energy was there. There was sort of whatever vibrance we captured in those early days, and I think being that in it is maybe what created some of that magic. I think having that happen again was definitely present, and I think that really reflects. It's sprinkled throughout the whole record.
And it was also, I think the producer we chose, Zach Servini, he kind of comes from, he's an All Time Low fan, or he grew up as an All Time
Yeah,
Low
one of the
fan.
funniest
Yeah.
things during the beginning of the process was like he just kind of said like I grew up listening to you guys, so we'd never worked with a producer or had a producer situation where that was the case, where they were a fan first and then were working on making the music with us. And I think that was a really cool way to approach it, because he had such a different take on things than I think any other producer ever would, because he was looking at it from a standpoint of
He was like, what would All Time Low do?
yeah, yeah.
And we're like, tell us, man.
Referencing us for our own music was
Yeah.
very interesting.
Amazing. And you've put out 1 single so far,
Yes.
and Sleeping In is coming later this week. How have you found the reception of the first single so far?
It's been amazing. People have been so sweet about it and reacting great to it, and
We've gotten rid of anyone that has kind of talked shit about it. We've made sure that they
disappear them.
Yeah.
They're no longer with us.
Yeah, so
sorry, guys.
all only positive comments that we've seen so far.
It's a very authoritarian approach to releasing music. No, it's really cool. And what was interesting about that song is we knew it was one of the first songs we wrote in the process, and we knew very early on that we wanted that to be the first thing that people heard. And it's interesting to make a record with that in mind, when you kind of have these placeholder songs that you already know fit a spot on the album, because then you're kind of writing around it from there.
Yeah.
So that song was it really helped the whole thing take shape.
Yeah,
it's a special
before
one.
before we even had the record done, or the second half even started, Alex was like, this is the first song and I think people should hear it, and we're like, yep. Like that was agreed on pretty early.
elsewhere on the album, you collaborated with Black Bear and the band Camino. How
Yes.
did hooking up with them happen? Are they pals or?
Yeah, we're so the band Camino, they're label mates. I've been a fan of them since they started kind of making their presence known in the world. I love what they're doing and I love their music, and yeah, the fact that they signed with our label, it was just kind of one of those perfect serendipitous moments where it was like they definitely belong on this record. And then Black Bear was a really interesting one because we've sort of known him for a while and he's always sort of been in our atmosphere, in our orbit, but never thought to really work with him or collaborate with him. And we were writing the song Monsters that he features on with our buddy Andrew, who has also been producing his work, his music. And it just was one of those perfect moments when we kind of felt like the song needed some new element, and we talked about a feature. And features are always tricky because I don't really love when features feel like it's just looking to cross streams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We want to have friends in our environment and work with people that we really love. And
Andrew played in the song.
Yeah, Andrew played Bear the song, and it just made sense. So it all came together.
Super into it. He's like, I think he just like spit a verse down. Like he was just like, I'm just gonna do this.
Yeah, we got it back pretty quickly, and it was like the perfect vibe, perfect.
We had like no notes. He's like, here, he's like, Bear just did this, and what do you think? We're like, holy shit, this is sick. Yeah,
Came in and brought it.
yeah.
Oh, excellent. And were there any songs you wrote with friends that didn't make the album?
As in like collaborations?
Yeah.
No, those were the only 2 collabs we had on this one. And they were kind of, both of those came after the fact. Like we wrote, because of the way that we wrote the album, being kind of locked down in a house in our own little bubble, we didn't work with other people until after the fact. You know, the songs were written and then we sent them out to people. So, you know, that would be interesting. Next time we make a record, we need to just invite people throughout the entire process.
Write it with them, maybe.
Yeah. Is collaborating something you like doing if it feels natural?
Yes, I think it's awesome. I mean, to me, music is always about collaboration. It's about the melding of minds and the melding of different opinions and energies and tastes and all of it. So,
every feature we've done on our records, I feel like are super special and unique, and nothing we've ever regret or doing.
I regret everything.
Just none of us sliding into DMs being like, please be on my song.
Hi.
Oh no, we've definitely done that for sure.
Mr. Ludacris?
Yeah, T Swift has a lot of. If you check those DMs, there's a lot of song requests in there.
You know, you're putting it out to the universe. Could still happen in the future.
Yeah, Ludacris, if you're listening. Chris, please reply to me. His name's Chris, right?
Yeah. Is it?
I think.
It is now.
I thought it was Luda.
It's Chris.
He doesn't say Chris in the song. He says Luda.
I think it's Chris.
So this is album number 8.
Yeah, is it? Oh my gosh.
So when you were working as a teenager on the first EPs and then the first album, did you ever imagine you'd be here 20 years on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I knew that we would be here on this day.
In this office.
In the hallowed halls of NME.
We're amazing planners.
Yeah.
Great.
We have a Mayan calendar at home that foretold all of this.
A 20-year plan, and you could go into this, and this was that
Tomorrow
big.
We were
world
only
ends.
looking one record at a time, so now at 8, that's kind of weird looking back.
Yeah, no, it's pretty insane. I mean, we never meant for this to be anything more than us making music in Ryan's parents' basement, and maybe playing some shows locally. And then it just kind of kept spiraling from there. And it's been a ride that we just haven't ever wanted to get off because it's so much fun. And luckily for us, 16 years into it, we're still all really good friends, and we can still, come together and live under one roof and not kill each other. And I mean, yeah, so it's pretty great.
How have you changed with a band over those 16 years?
How have we changed as a band?
Yeah.
So many ways. I mean, I think we're better than we used to be, for one.
Yeah, I mean, like
We used to be pretty terrible.
Yeah, but I think that was mostly just me. Everyone in our band has always been really good at their instruments.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
You'll allow that I'm a terrible musician.
If you're going to admit it, I'll allow it.
Yeah, Zach and Ryan have always been pretty tight. So.
Solid. No, so we all got better. I think we're closer than we've ever been.
Yeah, which is weird.
I think it's been cool growing up in this band, and we've done a lot of maturing and changing as people, and it's cool to see where everybody is now versus where we were back then.
Yeah.
It's crazy because like we took a year off technically, I guess, ish, and you think like that would be you'd want more time off, but we kind of like we're like, okay, let's get back
Ready
together.
to go.
Like, yeah, so the break was like just long enough.
It's a good reset.
Yeah.
Because both of you as well worked on your own side projects and solo projects in that time. Did working on them just make you think like, oh, okay, actually this idea would really work for All Time Low, and I want to get back in the studio with those guys?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I don't think it was ever that direct where I was working on Simple Creatures and saying, oh, I couldn't use this for Simple Creatures, but this would be great for All Time Low. It wasn't quite that cohesive, but I think there's definitely those moments where just getting out of your own comfort zone and doing something different creatively always gives you perspective to then come back and do what you know.
Making both our projects, sound very different than All Time Low. So like just being in the studio and like making music and like having no kind of like, I guess, expectations was super cool. But then it kind of made you miss like, what we do for the long haul,
For sure.
Yeah, totally.
I miss you, man. I miss you.
And you're getting to the point as a band where you can celebrate big anniversaries, like Nothing Personal. Yeah. Were there any songs you had to fully relearn?
Most of the album. Yeah.
It actually was crazy to realize how much of the album we still play live.
It's pretty insane to think about, and that's why I say like that was such a staple record for us. Like I think we play have always played maybe 4 or 5 songs off of that album
at every show,
which is wild to think about. But yeah, I mean the back half of that record we had to kind of relearn, and
I mean some of the Walls we had never even played before.
Yeah, Walls and Hello Brooklyn.
Yeah, we never played as a band
since the studio.
And controversial question: were there any songs when you were replaying them you're like, oh, I'm not sure I love this one anymore? Or
to be honest with that record, no. It was actually pretty fun.
With So Wrong, there was a couple.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's, what it is? It's like looking back at old, like photos of yourself, like
you're
awkward.
Like, oh, I wish I wasn't wearing that.
Yeah. Why did I wear that? Why did I cut my hair that way? Anything like that. And so you go back and you play these old songs. You're like, I would never do that now.
Yeah.
It's a little cringy or whatever. And so there were those moments, but at the same time, it was being done through the lens of like nostalgia. So it kind of felt cool anyway, just to revisit it.
And to finish, going back to the new album, you've just launched the Sunshine Hotline as well. Why did you decide you wanted to do that? Something to kind of
data collection to be sold to Russian companies later.
Thanks for the data.
No, it's we just thought that kind of the idea of these like positive affirmations were kind of fun and
creepy.
And I like
any way to creep people out. We're like totally down there.
Anything that feels sweet but is also a little bit creepy is good in my book.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the pull quote that they use for this. That's the thumbnail.
Of course, data collection.
And data collection. Don't forget.
And you said that The Last Renegade was more sort of a pocket universe. Are you thinking that's going to be the same with the new album, kind of creating an era around everything?
No, I actually look at it kind of as this continues on the normal All Time Low timeline, if you want to get real technical like that.
Yeah.
I think I look at Last Young Renegade as like a little bit of a sidestep off into its own world, and then this is kind of coming back and rejoining the timeline that we left off with.
Alex likes comic books.
At Future Hearts. I don't know. It's just music, man.
Excellent. And to finish, you've got the album on April 3rd, a couple of UK underplays. What else have you got coming up? Is there plans for a tour? You've, of course, playing Reading.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be. I mean, it's been, 3 years since we did Reading and Leeds, so that's going to be really cool. Yeah. So all the things. I mean, we haven't
I miss festivals.
Festival season. We haven't announced a ton of stuff yet. It's still kind of like everything's just starting to roll out. Yeah. But I mean, people know how we roll, and when we have new music out, we tend to not be off the road for much of it.
Yeah.
So expect shows, expect all the things. I'm very excited. It's gonna be good.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to the album coming out.
Thank you so much.